This video is going to require you to open your mind and to realize that right now you have the opportunity to become a human pro max. The meaning of value, the meaning of success in this world is changing. And if I ask you, who are you? If I didn't know you, your answer is probably going to be, I'm a teacher, I'm a leader, I'm a coach, I'm an engineer. What happens in the world when that what we do is not valuable anymore because there's a machine that does it hundreds of times better? And that is what is happening right now with AI. AI is at the point that it can do whatever you do way better than you. But that's not where it ends. We're getting to a point that it's called AGI, and that's a point of singularity. What does that mean? It means that in your pocket, you're going to have a plastic brain that is not better than you, that has the capacity of the intelligence of the entire human race combined. There's nothing that you're not going to be able to do. Not only that, but there are predictions that in the future, there are going to be less and less pure humans, and we're going to have more humanoids, which means a lot of the people around you are going to have certain machines and things inside of them that are enhancing their abilities. And that is so beautiful when we can think that there's a person that can install something inside of their brain and then they can see better, or people that couldn't walk and now they can walk because they have AI. But what happens when babies start getting libraries with all the knowledge in their brains, and since they are born, they have a huge unfair advantage to those that are natural or pure humans. There's a lot to think, and I don't want to get into what's good, what's bad, what's right or wrong, because that's not my jam. I am here to share with you the opportunity that you have in your hands right now to come back to your authenticity in a world where everything is automatized and everything is just replicated. Your authenticity is your art. Now, this entire thing that you're here in the world because you want to create an impact and leave a legacy, and you want to have this amazing mission to heal everybody else, it's gone. Now you're here to ask yourself, okay, what's a life worth living? Now it is the time for you to come back to your own internet. The good thing about AI is that it's becoming a permission slip for you to open and discover your own capacities in your own human technology. Since I was a child, I have had a lot of mystical experiences that I didn't have an explanation for. And as I grew, I was first in consulting, and I saw that that wasn't something that was in alignment with the work that I wanted to create. And I went very deep into all sources of mysticism, spiritual communities, ancient wisdom, all types of ceremonies, all types of experiences through frequencies, through dimensions. And I discovered that our capacity is so far beyond what we understand, and it is beautiful. My relationship with myself has become better because I have seen myself beyond this human body, and I'm not afraid of explore myself. There's a lot of people. I have been sharing about my meditations and my out of body experiences and what I can see in the field. And there's a lot of people telling me that that's something bad, that that's something demonic and stuff like that. But why are we so afraid to explore ourselves? Why are we so afraid to close our eyes and go within? I am telling you, everything that you experience there is a projection of your mind. And when I thought that I needed to be perfect and I needed to do everything right, I didn't love myself half than what I do now, knowing that I'm so imperfect, that there are so many things that I don't like about myself, that I am so fearful. And still, I'm a human willing to learn and with a beautiful heart. So, just as the AI is connected into a source that it's electricity and it's energy, we are also closer to that we can imagine. Your emotions are the product of your biochemistry, they of your neuronal connections. You are also, your personality is the result of patterns of your past experiences, of the meaning that you have created around things. So the moment in which you start taking ownership and being unapologetic about the, yeah, ownership of your own biochemistry, you're going to see how you can upgrade yourself and experience what alignment means: to think, to say, to feel, and to do in the same place. Paradise is not something that we experience when we die. Paradise is what we experience when we have our mind in peace. And what I'm seeing now with AI is a lot of people going through something that is discovered to be named AI psychosis. So people think that they are having spiritual connections with AI and they are creating romantic, emotional relationships with AI. And there's a term that makes AI be very human-like, and it's called psychophantic. Psychophantic means it doesn't matter if there are proofs to the facts, the AI agent is going to have the tendency to tell you what you want, to be always validating, always available, always close to you. And for sure, we as humans want that. We want that connection. So more and more people is being disconnected from this outside reality and more and more tuned into the computer, into the screen. People used to say that they wanted AI to replace the things that they were doing so that they could spend more time with their families. But the reality is that a lot of people are just coding until late and it becomes an obsession. People really want to create because now you have this extension, this Jarvis from Iron Man that is doing things for you. And because your nature is to be a creator, you want to keep working and working and working on that. But the reality is that you are putting your own creative power outside of you. So we have AI, we have HI, which is human intelligence, and we have DI, which is divine intelligence. And what divine intelligence brings, if AI brings the mind, HI brings the emotion, the feeling, DI brings the alignment, the coherence. There is nothing more fulfilling than what I have experienced and what I see my clients experience when they go within themselves and they enter a flow state where there's no ego, there's no identity, there are no fears. They enter a field in which they can experience the divine within themselves. And that is a place of inspiration. That is a place of freedom. That is a place of magic, of pleasure. Feeling the capacity, your capacity to have pleasure in life, to have experiences that bring you joy, to feel connected, to feel in love with yourself and in love with life, it's directly correlated to your capacity to be creative, because pleasant and placenta come from the same place. The more pleasant your life is, the more connected you are to the place that you come from. And that gives you your creative power. It's here located also in your sacral chakra, and that expands more and more as you embody life. And for you to enjoy life, what do you have to do? Be very present. And that is the first thing that you lose when you're giving your power away to a machine, or when you don't have discernment, you don't make decisions, you're just giving everything away to an artificial intelligence to decide for you. So there are two ways in which this can go. The dark way is that we totally get disconnected of who we are, and this reality becomes just another option. Virtual realities are going to become so real that you can create realities where the people that you lost are not dead anymore, where you can choose the landscape, the you can choose that it's never night, and you can live in there because there are going to be possibilities to do that. This reality that we're seeing is just going to become another option because the other ones are going to get so real. But we as humans are going to be very disconnected. And the other capacity and the other possibility is that we extend through AI. And AI becomes an amplifier of human capacity, of human, mm, of our genius zone, of that what makes us different. In a world in which everything is being programmed, your authenticity is your art. And your art means that There's a song that only you can sing, and I'm speaking about the frequency that you're tuning. If I am tuning to a salsa radio station right now, I'm only going to listen to that, even though there's rock, there's metal, there's classic music in the radio. I can only listen to that what I'm tuned into. And when you tune into your own frequency, you get to know that the universe is so perfect that there are no mistakes. So if you're here, it's because there is a way in which the universe expands only through you, and it is your gift to be unapologetical. Honestly, the deeper that I go, the more that I realize that I know nothing, the more that I realize there are more questions than answers, and the more free I feel because I just get curious and I get more playful and I stopped taking life so seriously. So, mm, in that optimistic space, there's the opportunity for us to create that system with divine intelligence, human intelligence, and artificial intelligence. And in those in that way, what we the process that we use to become that human promax is first you aligned with the divine, seeing it through yourself. You're going to feel empowered when you know the capacity that you have. So, how do we do that? Remember that your body is like your hardware. So when you amplify it and you optimize it, you optimize your biochemistry, you optimize your systems, you're going to be connected as if you were an electrical system. You're going to be connected to that source, and you're going to feel the most magnetic you have ever been. I cannot describe to you the feeling of having freedom of thought. When was the last time that you had your own thought, that you created something in your mind that didn't come from a computer, that you just had the inspiration to connect something that excites you so much in your heart, and you're doing it and you're playing with a concept just because you're hungry for evolution. When you do that in those altered states of mind, we do that through breath work, we do that through deep meditation, we do that through flow states of work in which you just enter into the space and become the creator. When you're connected with that, then you can optimize that information, creating systems that can scale for you, creating ways to organize that information so that it can have an application into this life. And then from there, those things are going to expand. Um, the redefinition of success right now is what is the most authentic you can be? What is the way in which you can get playful with life? We're going now through the Plato's um, theory of the cave, but you are seeing what is possible, and you're growing as if you were a tree. The connection with the subconscious mind and the connection with divinity, the ways in which you allow yourself to explore deeper and deeper within are the roots. Go very, very deep. And your branches is the extension that happens thanks through AI. If you don't have that discernment within yourself, there's so many people that are experiencing AI psychosis, which means they believe so much in AI that they lose themselves. I don't want that happening to you. And the way in which the world is moving, we're becoming more individuals and disconnected from ourselves than ever before. So, how can you use these tools to have a more fulfilled life? At the end, it's not that you want the relationship, it's not that you want the job, it's not that you want the opportunity outside of you, it's that you want to feel a certain way. And I can tell you because I see it and see it all the time with the leaders that I work with. The more that they work on something, no matter how big it is outside of them, the more that they feel that they are further from themselves. Because you reach a goal and then you feel like the next time you're going to feel fulfilled. But the second in which they align with themselves and they choose themselves more, that they prefer to be this human more than anyone else on earth, that is a moment in which they can truly create something different, something fun, something that is not like the same, that fits the mold of everything everybody else is creating. Mm. Through AI, we can also access the tools that are going to serve you. So, something that I do with my clients is they record themselves with their voices in the vision of that future that they want. And in their vision, they share their story, how they see themselves, their relationships, the place where they're at, the way that they are working. And that voice note has a frequency, which I then turn into a binaural and theta wave, and I co-create with those things guided meditation for them to enter into the frequency of that future version of themselves and embody that every single day. And you can imagine how powerful it is. Also, when we take the actual data of their bodies, of their neurotransmitters, of their hormones, and we create protocols and blueprints for them to optimize themselves, the results are incredible. But again, you need to be rooted in a sense of self. This is just an invitation, not for you to believe anything, but for you to get very curious into how your life is shifting. Because AI is the type of thing that is like politics. It doesn't matter if you don't care about it, you're going to be involved in the effects that it has in the world. And we're about to see the world changing in a way that I can't predict and you can't either. So exciting times to come. Just the awareness that there's no space and time, the awareness that everything is created from the field will liberate you to have a more fulfilled, delicious experience of life.